I touched down in 96, knew I was a man by the age of 6. I even f***ed a girl that used to babysit, but that was years later on some crazy shit. We got that 1996 Seattle track review on Reflex. This is made by the same dude that's made all these other retro design style tracks, right? The NWG dude. So I had to come back in here and take another look at one of these. These are just so cool in this game. This one looks really cool right here. This may be the best one I've rode on so far. This is my first laps ever on it, but remember, guys, you can find all these tracks on DS19, the Dark Slides website. If you just type in DS19 Reflex on Google, it'll pop that up for you. It's got all those custom tracks on there. It's got the first-person mod on there. It's got this Monster Energy Kawasaki skin on there. Oh, dude. This track is sick, dude. I'm not going to lie. This one right here is like, this literally feels like I'm riding on a 1996 Supercross track in Reflex. That's actually what this feels like. Damn, dog. This one right here, this one feels like, I don't know like when this NWG dude, I don't know the timeline of like which ones he made first or which ones were made a little bit later, but this one just feels like it's got a little bit more effort put into it than that 2000 Anaheim 1 track had to it. I just feel like the dirt decal looks better, looks more realistic. It's almost got like a, oh dude, that section right there's got it going on, dude. Damn. He's got like all these different kind of ruts on some spots of this track. The entire track has like a little bit of a micro choppiness to it, like micro choppy roughness to it. Really gives you that retro 90s Supercross vibe to this track. Oh, bro, look at this choppy roughness coming out of this corner, dude. Damn. Spency boy on one. Ho. Boys, be sure you got all notification bells hit for the channel. I'm popping off with these uploads right now. Been having a lot of fun on Reflex again. Man, Reflex is timeless, dude. She's just timeless, dude. Can I jump to that tabletop? Oh, man. I'll tell you one thing, these NWG retro tracks, just about all of them that I've rode on so far, really do have that feeling of like, oh, can I try to hit this bigger jump? Or, oh, let me try to hit this. You know, it takes you a couple laps before you even, like, realize the biggest line on the track. That's always a good thing. Always a good thing. If you ever get on one of those tracks in any of these games where it kind of feels like you're just hitting every biggest line on the track on the first or second lap, that's a pretty good indicator that it's probably not quite to that, like, you know, skill gap depth level to it, where it really has that, like, replayability. I like getting on a track where it takes me, you know, 5 to 10 laps before I even see the potential biggest line on the track, and then it takes me another 5 laps to even try to attempt to then hit that bigger line. You know, that's what I like personally, or a track that's got, like, so much like character or pre-made to it where it really feels like it's like hard to get out of the transitions because they're rough and rutted. I love that shit. Basically, in a nutshell, I like tracks that are the opposite of those like perfectly man-made, perfectly prepped, cookie cutter, every jump's the exact same, smoothed off, you know. I hate those tracks. I'm just keeping it honest with you, man. I hate those tracks because, especially in Reflex, I mean, it's one thing if you know, like you get in a simulator and you've got those more basic Supercross tracks, but when you get on a game like Reflex, you really got to have some character to it, or it seems to get boring pretty quickly, you know? So this is definitely, I mean, that retro Daytona that I rode on was fucking badass, I'm not gonna lie, but this one just feels more like a fully completed, put together, you know, Reflex custom track right here. Damn, he ain't playing around on these jumps. He's got that one spot where you gotta try to jump on top of that, You got to go on off of that tabletop, but it's tiny. It's like very, very short distance of a tabletop to land on, so it's hard not to over jump or under jump. And he's got the whoops all cupped out like it's the last lap of a 450 main event. Fucking badass, dude. I love this kind of track design right here. This is my cup of tea, if you know what I'm saying, bro. Oh, man. Oh, this is fun right here, dude. I'm going to have to do some live streams on these, do some multiplayer races on these or something. These are too much fun, man. So, yeah, I hope you guys have been enjoying the content here recently. Just been trying to kind of, you know, take it back to the roots a little bit, doing some more track reviews. We got a shitload of MX Simulator content coming up. I'm still working on fixing all of my older custom tracks on MXM. That shit's just taking forever because I really want to do it right. You know, I really want to go in there and try to go in there and fix all those older custom tracks that I made, you know, what feels like a century ago. Really want to take the time to get in there and do it right. So, but, you know, I've been working diligently behind the scenes on all of that, and that'll all be coming out here really soon. So, but yeah, dude's got berms on the track. He's got plenty of roughness, character. It doesn't feel like a super, like, perfectly man-made built type track. There's that line. You can jump over that tabletop, then you can almost jump to there. Woo, that's a fast line. Jump on top of that tabletop, carry all this speed around. Whoa. Okay. Now we're getting it going. Can you triple? Ooh, I don't know if you can jump up to that, but then you'd have to single that last jump. I don't think that would be worth it. I do like this cool-ass space rocket ship looking FMX big sign he's got on some of these tracks. Those are pretty cool. But yeah, these will go down in history as some of the coolest, like, old school Supercross replica tracks you've ever seen on this shit. This is such a cool element too. This is what I say when I talk about, like, this custom content that you get with Reflex on PC, MXM, and I don't know if they've done much of this with MX bikes yet, but they will eventually, where you can basically go in here and make any sort of replica track from any year, and I'm talking any year, like 90s, early 2000s, 70s. You can fucking come in here and do anything in these games with the track editors. It's very different than the kind of track editor that you would have on like an official Supercross game. I mean, how the hell are you going to make a retro track on those? There's that triple. That's probably not worth hitting, but when you get into these, what I call like full-blown PC-based track editors, it really takes it to another level, opens up that door on what you can make, you know, hence the Trippy SX, you know, Pluto Supercross, fucking all the shit I've made has just been insane. But you could never make that kind of stuff in like a console-based track editor. That's what opens up those doors to be able to make all of this like retro design, because then they can go in there and put their own, you know, custom like old school retro models and their own retro billboards and retro tough blocks. I mean, it really does take doing everything and then sort of designing the track, the on track of the track a little bit more down that retro vibe. Look at the mud on the front fender. That's pretty cool. I don't remember seeing it doing it that much on Reflex. Look at that. I mean, we got that front fender fucking shitty, dude. I'm a little blown away right now. That's really cool looking. Anyways, whoa, Spency boy. Alrighty, buddy. Let me just hump the tough blocks real quick. Now we're on the hay bales. Literal hay bales. So you get what I'm saying, though. Like, you can have actual hay bales instead of tough blocks. This is something I think they should do. Even with the track editor of the official Supercross games, there should definitely be an option in there to make, instead of having those like standard tough blocks that you have, the fucking neon custom tough blocks. I want to be able to select to have like old school hay bales on the tracks on the official Monster Energy Supercross game track editor. I think that would be really cool. Like Milestone, you need to take notes, dude. That would be a sick ass, DLC type thing, or just give it to us. That's the better option. But yeah, this is 1996 Seattle Replica. Bro, I gotta run another couple laps on this one. This was just fun right here. Got the big old school billboards. See, he's actually got a literal picture from 1996 up on that billboard right there. That really pulls these retro tracks together, these NWG retro tracks together here. But then also, you could have old school hay bales and old school billboards and whatever the fuck, but if you don't build the on-track properly to fit that sort of vibe, then it's not going to have that vibe, you really do have to do the on-track as well. And I feel like what gives a track that retro vibe is when you make stuff like different than the norm. You try to go in there and make shit where it's like either the jumps are like the transitions are not as perfectly built as they would be nowadays, or you've got like where it looks like somebody didn't try to. Supercross has progressed over the years where they really have started to make all the jumps more homogenized, more similar, more, whatever the hell you want to call it. But if you're trying to go for that retro design vibe in one of these games, you really do have to get pretty unique with your like triple distances to your tabletop on off. A lot of times you build those like a little bit shorter or different than they would be on a modern day custom track in these games. And then like, what is this, like a tabletop finish line? Like, what, you just never see shit like that anymore. But you see how short that, let me see if I can even show this here. It's going to put me wrong way, but see how short this on-off is right here, and see how peaked out. This is so different than the way a modern type design track would be made in the track editor of Reflex, and it also kind of fits that old school retro vibe of Supercross there. So you got to do those special little things on the on-track for it to even feel like a retro style track, What happens if I go right here? You can still jump to there, but then that is a crazy single. Look at these 3 inside ruts. They're just barely there. But if you started really digging into these with a lot of dudes on the track, you could dig those in pretty good. I like how he cupped out these whoops like blown out end of a 450 main event. I love how he did that. And then like all this chop roughness right here coming out of this corner. That type of shit, you don't see that very often on like the newer design style replica Supercross tracks in this game. So that's another little element that will give a track like a retro vibe design, is when you start adding that little choppy roughness everywhere, almost like the track wasn't prepped quite as good. So it kind of gets that like choppier, blue groovier, whatever you want to call it. This is all the shit I've learned over all these years of, custom track making on MXM, reviewing God knows how many custom tracks. Shit, I think I got like 420 track reviews on my channel. I've seen it all. And when you get to that point, not only have I seen it all on Reflex, but I've also seen it all on MXM and all these other games. And you start to get this overall feel for things and kind of how they're built and what makes a track feel retro and things of that nature. And I'm just telling you, that choppy roughness is always a big part to making a track feel retro like that. Or like putting a random rut up with like a random pre-made rut up a jump phase. That'll make shit feel retro. Or making something like super peaked out, like weird kicker transitions or something. A lot of different ways you can make retro vibe stuff, but this one's really fun right here. I mean, I definitely recommend going and downloading this 1996 Seattle right here. This one's got it going on, boys. I did change my setup a little bit on this bike. It does seem to be working a lot better. I got this bike set up like almost identical to the Ricky Carmichael in Reflex. It's like even on the acceleration and speed, and it's a little more soft and stiff on the suspension than it's even on the tire settings. Boy, this bike is just straight working. Like if I really focused on this, I could probably start doing stuff like tripling into this corner. There's a lot of different shit. Let me try to do that. Let me focus for a lap here. Let me see what I can actually do on this track. You can also go up the inside here and go like that. Okay. I think going on top of this table finish is fast. Gotta be the fastest. Let me just blow my fucking legs off of the bike. Okay. Let's get back on this table. What I was trying to do though is really hit like, let's see. Ooh, it's fun when you rail that rut right there, dude. Shee! Some of these inside ruts give you that feeling, you know, that really good feeling when you dig into them. Man, I love me some pre-made, dude. There ain't nobody that loves pre-made more than me. I'm just telling you. And then when you get Reflex's terrain deformation that actually has cushion feel to it on top of that pre-made, shee, buddy. All right, apparently I'm not capable of really running a hot lap here. Oh, could you quad that? Fuck, that would be big. But you see how I'm like still trying to see if I can hit bigger lines. And I've ran like 16 laps here. So that's how you know a track's, you know, got it going on when it comes to like line options, rhythm options, things like that. I can't tell you how many tracks I've rode on Reflex where it literally feels like I've hit every possible jump that you could possibly ever imagine hitting on the track in like 2 laps. You know, those tracks are so fucking boring to me. But this is not like that right here. This is more like all that even just those whoops right there being so cupped out like that, it really does give them an extra little kick of skill gap, no pun intended. There's that triple. Then you can really hold the speed down to there and get that triple. That's what I was trying to do that whole time right there. That's going to be much faster than that shit I was doing before. Can't quite bounce over that. Yeah, it was a 55.62. Let's see if we can beat that. Spency boy out here trying to run a hot lap now. Just want to take it easy right here and double this. Then snag this inside rut. Oh, we got us a good run, boys. Yeah, these whoops, when they're cupped out like that, they'll actually kick the bike to the side a little bit more than you would normally expect it to do on Reflex, so that's kind of cool. Okay, triple here. Triple. Whoa, Sitsy boy's on one, dude. Sitsy boy's on one, dude. Oh, my lamp, bro. Can I fucking do it, dude? Oh, Spency boy. Shit, that's going to make me lose some time right there. Fuck. We're still going to beat our lap time, though, by like another second. Bro, you could definitely run some like 52s, 51s, 50. I mean, you might even be able to run a 49 on the shit. I don't know. There's the triple there. How far can I? Yeah, you can't really. Man, that section you really, I think it's just smarter to double. But anyways, I'll get it in endless lap time shit here. 2 ruts going up to that corner. All this choppy roughness really keeps you on your toes. I would say this is like a 9 out of 10 right here. 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10. I don't even know. This shit's legit. This track is really good for a retro style track in this game. So either way, it's the best, probably the best NWG track I've rode on so far as these retro ones. But yeah, dude, love these little ruts, these little pre-made ruts, and they're not even little, but you know what I'm saying though. Difficulty on this track, this is probably like somewhere in that medium to hard difficulty if you're really going fast around the track and you're trying to keep the bike under control through these ruts and through the chopped out whoops and stuff, it's going to give you a little bit more of a challenge than you would have on your standard super smoothed out tracks in the game. You know what I'm saying? So either way, another amazing track from NWG. Appreciate you guys watching all the videos. Later, dudes.